A bizarre and ultimately pointless drama unfolded yesterday after Piers Morgan, an on and off friend and ally of Donald Trump, debuted a trailer for an interview in which he claimed Trump angrily walked out, and then Trump later released audio he claimed contradicted the trailer and showed that in reality, the ending was cordial. Also, coup plotter Rudy Giuliani was on The Masked Singer. For more on this, wait, do we want more on this? All right, we do? All right. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Republican politics these days is often so relentlessly stupid, it genuinely feels like we're being punished for something. It's like we got busted watching an episode of Maury, and God said, okay, you like that? How about if everything is an episode of Maury from now on? Do you like that? Every damn day we have to deal with something insane like stories about congressional orgies or senators writing Disney erotica or cable hosts pitching testicle tanning. And it always seems to come from the same cluster of weirdos like Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, Madison Cawthorn, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Their names are all starting to blend together now in one soup of insanity. Did you hear what Muckery Gaylor Cawthump said now? Did someone flip a switch or something that unleashed all these weirdos on us? It's like that scene in Ghostbusters where the EPA guy makes them open the vault and all the ghosts come flying out. I mean, could have sworn I saw the zombie cab driver on The Masked Singer last night. Yeah. You saw that Rudy Giuliani, the guy who waged a lengthy and unhinged campaign to overturn the 2020 election, who tried to help Donald Trump steal millions of votes, helped orchestrate a scheme to extort the country of Ukraine to help Trump cheat in the election, had his home and office raided by the FBI, is currently under federal investigation for various allegations, and called for a trial by combat on the day of January 6th insurrection, was on Fox's Masked Singer last night. That's a terrible, terrible thing to do to people on 420. Hey, man. Hey, man, that weed you gave me, I think it's laced with something, man. I'm seeing some up, man. And when he was unmasked, everyone was shocked, including, apparently, Rudy himself.
Oh, my goodness! Former Associate Attorney General, former Mayor of New York City.
Is that Robert Duvall?
No, that's not Robert Duvall.
Rudy Giuliani!
No way! Oh my gosh.
Well, Mr. Giuliani, with all of the controversy that's surrounding you right now, I think it surprises us all that you're here on The Masked Singer. Why would...
Me too.
I'm sure he was surprised. There's a good chance Rudy genuinely did not know where he was. It was just as surprised as everyone else when they opened that box. He was probably thrilled, by the way. A singing competition? I just assumed I was going to jail. I bet you could trick Rudy Giuliani into climbing into almost any container just by telling him there's a trove of shredded Trump ballots in there, or, I don't know, a bottle of scotch that wasn't completely empty. Honestly, the idea that any TV show would help rehabilitate a key figure in an attempted coup for entertainment purposes is so disgusting and shocking. The only reality show I would have been okay with Rudy being on is Love is Blind, just to see if he accidentally ends up marrying his cousin again. So, where are you from? 32 East Flatbush Road? That's where my aunt and uncle live. We got so much in common. And I'm sorry, whenever we make that joke, I'm supposed to clarify that it was his second cousin he married, you know, as in someone who you share a great-grandparent with, not the second time he married his cousin. Although I could definitely see Rudy doing that twice by accident, too. Honey, I was just looking at the marriage certificate. You accidentally put Giuliani on the line for maiden name. Giuliani is your maiden name. Oh, Rudy, you've done it again. And again, I should clarify, you know, all jokes aside here. When he married his second cousin, which is a real thing he did, her maiden name wasn't Giuliani. I mean, this man was the mayor of New York City. How dare I treat him like some sort of clown? Oh, well, all right. I guess it's fair now. You know who probably panicked when Rudy Giuliani appeared as a Jack in the Box? This guy. Yeah, I'm gonna lay low for a while. And yet somehow that was not the only incredibly stupid thing to happen in Republican politics yesterday, because one of Trump's longtime friends and allies, Piers Morgan, released an overly dramatic trailer for a new interview with Trump where he claimed Trump angrily stormed out of the interview when pressed about his election lies.
Okay, Piers, I'm ready.
A former president in denial.
I'll be completely straight with you to your face.
I think I'm a very honest man. Much more honest than you, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a free and fair election. You lost.
Only a fool would think
You
that.
think I'm a fool?
I do now, yeah.
With respect.
Excuse me.
Okay, with respect.
The
you haven't
legislature-
produced the hard evidence.
Excuse me.
The most explosive interview of the year.
I don't think you're real. It's,
I realise
it's just
that I'm not like-
very
I
dishonest.
just-
Let's finish up the interview.
Morgan versus
Turn the
Trump.
camera off. Very dishonest.
I'm sorry, but who edited that trailer? Michael Bay? Was there hand-to-hand combat? Is this from the next Jason Bourne movie where instead of advanced fighting skills, Jason Bourne wakes up in a poorly tailored suit? By the way, Piers Morgan himself also famously stormed off the set of his own TV show in the UK when he was challenged on something. He said, "These guys constantly call the left snowflakes and get triggered, and then they immediately melt down when confronted by even the gentlest questioning from a friendly source." I mean, look at Trump's face. He's literally melting down. That's what a Yankee candle looks like if you leave it out in the sun. I believe that one is called Tangerine Saddlebag. It will never not shock me that anyone in the country looks at that guy and says, "That's a face I can trust." That looks like a mask you'd rip off to reveal Rudy Giuliani on The Masked Singer. But then a weird thing happened where Trump's team released audio claiming he didn't angrily walk out. NBC News reported that the audio at the end of the interview appears to tell a different story. The two men laughed and thanked each other. The recording shows there are no signs of Trump storming off set. That was a great interview, Morgan says. In the audio at the end, Trump agrees with a yeah. "Thank you very much. I really appreciate it," Morgan says. Genuine fights don't end with "thank you very much. I really appreciate it." You've never seen a 10-minute fight sequence in a movie with The Rock and Vin Diesel punching each other on top of a train, dodging bullets, laying flat when they go through a tunnel, popping up again, doing a windmill kick to the other guy's face, which sends him flying off the train, leading the other guy to relax and assume the fight's only to realize it's not over because his nemesis climbs back up onto the train after having clung to a door handle. So they fight for another 10 minutes until both of them wrestle each other back and forth and fall dramatically off the train as it crosses the river and continue punching midair as they plunge 100 feet into the icy rapids and send them tumbling towards a waterfall where they cling to a rock until they lose their grip, and then they grab onto a tree branch, narrowly escaping death, and then they turn to each other and say, "Hey, man, that was a great fight. Thanks so much." Of course. If it was Vin Diesel, he wouldn't say that. He would say, "It's all about family." And that's today's invincible impression. That's what he said when he pitched it. "It's all about family." And they're like, "But also cars." What were we talking about? Oh, right. And Trump's account would make sense because even the initial description of the interview had this odd anecdote. The host added that Trump initially tried to end the interview by declaring "that's it," but remained in his seat to discuss a recent hole-in-one he scored while playing golf. After that discussion, the former president stood up with a hateful look and ordered the crew members to turn the cameras off. It's so funny you can trick Trump into sitting for an interview if you just ask him about golf. He's so easy to checkmate. It's like how you trick a golden retriever into running after a tennis ball by pretending to throw it. In Trump's case, he'd just spend hours walking around the White House lawn looking for it. "Where's this freaking tennis ball? I ran all the way here. I ran to find the tennis. If I don't get that tennis ball, I'm not gonna get that treat. And let me tell you, I want that milk bone. We love milk bone, don't we, folks? It combines the flavor of milk with beef, chicken." What we're seeing here is that to all these guys, whether it's Piers Morgan or The Masked Singer, it's just entertainment. They don't care about what's actually at stake, which is our democracy. And deep down, most Republicans know it. They know the truth, as we learned from a bombshell New York Times report this morning that revealed senior GOP leaders, including Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell, were ready to push Trump out of office in the days after the January 6th insurrection before changing their tune and deciding to stick with him for political expediency.
This morning, we're learning that the nation's top two Republicans had serious concerns about former President Trump's ability to lead in the wake of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The New York Times is reporting that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy told other Republican leaders that he was going to advise President Trump to resign. The Times is also reporting that McCarthy and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell looked into the 25th Amendment as an option for removing Trump from office.
McCarthy specifically, their reporting says he wanted to push Trump to resign, that he said, quote, "I've had it with this guy."
I feel like in the wake of a violent attack on the Capitol, you should be able to muster something a little stronger than "I've had it with that guy." Even their strongest denunciations of Trump behind closed doors sounds like your dad complaining to you about the guy who does his landscaping. I've had it with this guy. He keeps using the wrong mulch and all my petunias are dying. All right, here's your mom. But this has always been the case. Behind the scenes, they all knew, every single one of them, how dangerous Trump was. But they need him for the show business of it all. Trump's like their unmanageable Broadway diva. Shirley stabbed the wardrobe guy with a chopstick and he's threatening to sue. Plus, she's drunk as a skunk and curtains in 10 minutes, but goddammit, that broad can sing. A good rule of thumb with these guys is whenever you can't tell if they're dumb or evil, the answer is all of the above. Republicans calculated they could use Trump for sinister political purposes, and once again, that's what happened, because as the New York Times reports, within weeks, both men backed off an all-out fight with Trump because they feared retribution from him and his political movement. And McCarthy even flew down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ring and pose for that photo where they look like two personal injury attorneys who want to know if you have asbestos in your house. Do you have asbestos? Well, so do we. In fact, we accidentally ate some. Wait, what was this commercial about? I don't know. My memory's not so good since I ate that asbestos. So call us and tell us what our names are, because we can't remember. The fate of our democracy is very much on the brink, and yet so many of our institutions, from political parties to media organizations, are far too willing to rehabilitate the key perpetrators of a slow-moving coup, all for entertainment or profit or political gain. The rot in our political system goes deep. These guys are all...
Bad to the bone.
Is our wah-wah horn broken? This has been a closer look. God's Love We Deliver cooks and brings over 2 million meals a year to men, women, and children living with HIV/AIDS, cancer, and other serious illnesses, and they need your help now more than ever. If you're watching this online, you can hit the donate button. Stay safe, get vaccinated. We love you.